Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Information Man Show, Information Man Experience. We're going to talk about Umar Johnson today, as some of us have received disturbing information that reinforces that a school is not going to be a reality because the man has failed to do the most basic things, such as register the Marcus Garvey or the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey RBG Leadership Academy. The basic thing is to put in all proper paperwork, because when you are asking for donations, the states will see it as charity, and you must register as the Department of State had requested of him to do so. And Dr. Umar Johnson has failed miserably, yet he tells me and you that he has a team. We're going to examine it. I have the receipts. I want to shout out Lennon Honors, Brother Max Worrell, who also was talking about this issue. KKC out there brought this to the forefront. I want to say shout out to Black Anonymous, who sent me also an email as I digged into the actual Department of State in Philadelphia, or in Pennsylvania is the state. And there's the other question of the HVAC. Oh, where is the HVAC at? He has slipped away from that narrative of HVAC. So I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to show you documents. I know some of you have looked at other streams over this week that's talked about this, but Information Man is going to give his own flavor to this issue. There are some things that I'm going to give you a lesson plan on that I have prepared. Questions that would bring you to think about logic when thinking about what's really going on with the school situation, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you all for coming over. Let's get at it. Welcome to the Information Man Experience. Peace to you.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel. You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
What's up, everybody? Peace. What's up? Peace to everybody out there. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming over. You're probably surprised because you know I don't normally go live this early during the day on a Saturday. I usually go live on Sundays, but the analytics said that this is the best time to go live because most of my audience would be on the system around this particular time. So I appreciate everybody for coming over. Once again, I want to say shout out to brother Max Worrell. He talked about this issue with the receipts about Umar Johnson's cease-and-desist order that was placed upon him. I want to say shout out to Leonard Honors. He talked about this as well on his channel. I think KKC, King Kong Conscience, I think that brother was one of the ones that really brought this out early on in the stage of this. I know, let me see, your transcripts talked about this as well. Many people have brought to bear this issue about Umar Johnson. And I just want to say some fundamental things right now. If I'm not mistaken, Umar Johnson has been collecting money since 2009, if I'm not mistaken. And it started with the St. Paul School. Brother Honors did a great job this whole week of displaying the origins of when he was trying to collect money for St. Paul's. He kept saying that that was the campus, that was the place that had everything that you needed. And for whatever reason, he said, then he turns around and says that that got snatched from right from under him. So the thing about Umar is that he has excuses for everything that he taught. When he gives you these, he puts high explosive expectations on everything that he says he's going to do. And then the air fills the balloon and then it goes sizzles out. And it's usually with excuses. And I was taught a long time ago that excuses are tools of the incompetent, and those who use a lot of excuses seldom succeed. Umar Johnson is not succeeding in his execution here. Now, I know what people are going to say out there. Why are you putting a black man down? This black man has been at this shit for about 13 years in total, starting with collecting money. When he gave us this grandiose idea of getting the St. Paul School, which did not come to reality. Every year, Umar Johnson continues to move the ball. The bell is ringing all the time on something else. He goes from one thing to another. 1 minute he's telling you he's going to write a book that you never get. Next minute he's talking about he wants to start some online courses, when at one point in time he has talked nasty about people who already had what we would call in-home schools or online courses, right? He would say, oh, well, ain't the kind of school I'm building. He keeps moving the ball, changing the goalpost, promising this, and you get nothing in the end. Everybody out there, even those that support him, got excited because he had a party in the gym, the only place that he tends to spend most of his time at that dump up there in Delaware, which, by the way, if you go and do research, Honors has talked about it. All of us have talked about it. When you do research into Delaware, where the school is located, you will find out it's a Browning area. It has environmental hazards. They were about to break that all down, and the city was going to take it and prepare it and clean it up to prepare it for something else that would benefit the community. Now it's sitting there as a dump. He got it on the cheap because I'm going to tell you right now, they know that it has environmental hazards. It's called a Browning area. If you go on Google and you look up the environmental impact report, the environment of where this school is located, it's a Browning area. There are toxins. There was even rumors about water quality being very poor. Umar Johnson has also picked a community that has, I think at one time, this particular area in Delaware was ranked 6th in the country. I know Honors has talked about this, 6th in the country of America in terms of violence and drugs and all the different things that are going on. So now you want to take black children or black males, as he keeps saying, put them in an environment that is a very not a very healthy environment at all. OK, then Umar has put into the atmosphere that he is the greatest since sliced bread, that he is the greatest of all time psychologist. How can you be the greatest of all time psychologist when, one, if I'm not mistaken, he's not certified? 2, Umar Johnson was booted out of Philadelphia. Do your research, because he missed. This is allegedly. I'm going to say it again. 1, 2, 3 times the lady. Allegedly booted out of a private school in Philadelphia. Allegedly, due to the fact that he was found to allegedly to misdiagnose the very children that he claims that he's an expert about, that he is the master of disaster. He is the master of disaster. That's right. And so yet, can anybody tell me when you last saw Dr. Umar Johnson working with kids in a school? When the last time have you seen any videos or footage of him as a principal in a school? When the last time have you seen anyone who has been given treatment for their child or some type of advice from Umar that's done a testimony that can tell you the damn truth?
Tell the truth.
So Umar, in his own mind, in his own narcissistic personality traits that he has pumped himself up to be the greatest of all time when it comes to psychology. The last time I checked, if you're a great psychologist, you should have peer articles that you have produced that has been peer reviewed by your own peers, people that can vouch for your greatness, right? So he takes a page out of Muhammad Ali. We know Muhammad Ali was great because we could see the tangibles of what he was doing that made him great. Umar spends most of his time pumping his own ego up, but yet you get very little dividends out of him. He gets your money. Now, check this out. The man has been doing this since 2009, collecting money over 13 years. I've got gray hair. Look at my hair. When I was donating to Dr. Umar Johnson, when I first started giving money, I did not have gray hair. I was younger. Hell, my daughter was just freaking a few years after being born. My daughter is 14 years old. No school. I'm getting gray hair. I'm 52. I was way younger. How long does it take to get a school built? He got on Lord Jamal's Godcast and made a buffoon of himself when Lord Jamal was trying to help him. Now we got Dr. Umar Johnson setting up here on videos lately talking about pray we get the HVAC, pray we get this, pray we get that. Wait a minute. You told us not too long ago that the HVAC was already in Delaware. Not to worry. I'm going to play those videos today. You told us that You had everything under control. Now we find out that you haven't done your due diligence. He told Lord Jamal on the video clip that I'm going to play you. I'm going to play that clip to bring it right into the document. And I've got the document in hand right here. Oh, yeah. I got the document in hand. Bring that camera angle back. I got the documents in hand of his foolishness right here. Copy, fresh, copy, right in my hand. I'm going to put a copy on the screen. And this is stupidity because all Umar Johnson has to do is register. Now he's official. Because what he's going to do and what his supporters are going to do is say, this is just a way for the white man to stop a black man from opening up a school for black boys. The Department of State isn't saying anything about trying to stop him from opening up a school. They're simply saying he has to follow the rules that every private school follows, because that's what he's trying to open up as a private school. And you have to follow certain procedures. He didn't follow them. And they've been requesting of this information for him to register for some time, and he's failed to do it. This is the fundamental question. Why has Umar Johnson not registered? What is he trying to hide? Because if you're registering, you're asking that you got a charitable organization to take in these donations. You know why he probably hasn't done this? Because in order to register, now the IRS gets into the business now, right? Now the IRS needs to know. Dr. Umar ran around not too long ago talking about that he received a letter from the IRS that now you can get a tax exemption. You can get a tax rebate if you submit donations to his cause. BS. In order to do that, Dr. Umar Johnson has to show receipts to the IRS. He has failed. I think Brother Honor said that Dr. Umar owes about 100,000, 700, something like that, of that nature. Somebody, if I got the numbers wrong, put it in the chat room if I got the numbers wrong here. Let me play you. I'm going to go step by step. This won't be a stream that will take up all your time today, but I'm going to go step by step leading up to my punchline here. What I want to do is I want to play you a video. Let's go back in the past. And let's play, I hope this works, because I was having a lot of problems cranking this up earlier. And if this is not, I'm going to have to put this in again. I'm going to have to pull this out. Hang on, folks. Give me just 1 minute. I've got to pull this out and I've got to now put it back in. Give me 1 minute. I want to play these videos. I've got them lined up for you. Let me go into my file system here. Something's not working correct. Give me 1 minute. And I appreciate everybody who's come out to support the show today. I really appreciate that. Very much so. So let me put this in here. And hopefully this is going to work. There it is. I think that.
Yes, sir.
What I'm doing ain't that. I want to be absolutely clear. The Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey RBG International Leadership Academy will be America's first school based off the principles of Pan-African nationalism and international economics. That's not what I'm doing, brother. I have a totally different concept from him. You understand? So if
The concept could be different, but the implementation of how
but I
it's
don't
put.
need his help implementing, brother, because I'm a certified school psychologist and a certified school principal who's experienced, who got a whole cadre of education.
So as you can see, Umar Johnson continues to talk about, even with Lord Jamal, who offered him help from his father-in-law, as we all remember, who opened a school within 6 years. from ground level. The problem with Umar, and I've said this in previous videos that I've done, is that Umar wants all the success and all the accolades right now. He keeps talking about the ancestors, but the ancestors built their schools in one-room houses and built it over a period of time. And some of those ancestors that he always harps on are not even alive to see how big Morehouse is or how big Spelman is, because that's sacrifice of is Umar Johnson trying to have a movement, or is he just trying to have a moment? A movement you have to give of yourself, and that is a sacrifice. That means you may not be alive to see how big the RBG Academy was going to be, Umar, if you had did things the right way. You want to get the boom, ba boom attention now because you're arrogant. Lord Jamal sat up here trying to give you some information you didn't want to listen. You kept talking about how you got all these experts working behind the scenes, how you are certified. Just because you're a certified psychologist or therapist or whatever you want to call it, that don't mean you're an expert when it comes to real estate in business. You should listen to people that want to help you. Now you talking all this big and bag stuff, Umar, but yet you didn't even register with the State Department Let's continue with this.
See, y'all keep making these things. He needs to talk. No, I don't. Y'all don't know who I got. I got everything.
Why is somebody, you have all these credentials, then why is this man who we don't know was able to put his school together in a few months, and it's taken you 6 years, brother?
6 years is nothing for a school. I can show you 10 charter schools where the money is coming from the state, and it took them almost a decade to get open, brother. You don't open up a school. Is in Delaware.
All right, let me go back on. I want to go back to this right here.
I don't care to know it. I don't care to know it.
So he told Lord Jamal he didn't care to know the information that he was going to give him about how his uncle, his father-in-law, was successful. Umar Johnson kept saying that he has all these expert people helping him. If all these expert people are helping you, Umar, why is it that you couldn't do the most basic thing, like get a domain name for a website for the school? You don't even have that. You don't even own a damn domain name. Why couldn't you do the most basic thing, which is to register with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Department of State Bureau of Corporations and Charitable Organizations when you're asking for donations? Why? That means that your so-called experts that we've never seen have failed you. Umar. Let's finish the rest of this.
Why not, though? If it could be helpful to you, why wouldn't you care to know it if it could be helpful to you?
Brother, I have friends who own schools. Do you understand that?
If you have friends that own schools, if he has friends that own schools, ladies and gentlemen, then he would know that you've got to register if you're asking for donations. But this is the truth. Real quick. This is the truth, ladies and gentlemen. You can't build a school on just donations that you collect from the everyday average person out here. You need big donors. You need people with deep pockets, because what I'm going to do on this video today, because this is the Information Man Show, is I'm going to give you detailed. We're going to take you to school around the block and around the goddamn corner here. I'm going to show you some breakdowns that I'm going to put across the screen that what are the overall expenses of creating a private school. What does the public schools, the states pay for schools? What is the cost involved? We haven't even talked faculty yet. This man can't even get HVAC on the roof. Then he's talking about the small HVAC. Then he's talking about let's pray. No, if you're trying to build a school, prayers is great, but you need real work. Why is it? Everybody ask yourself in the chat room. We're going to use logic over here. Why is it that we haven't seen any hard hat construction workers, people moving sheetrock, people breaking down walls, people bringing in new windows, people with hard hats on, real construction contractors? First, he told you he had the HVAC. He said, don't worry, folks. The HVAC is in Delaware. Don't worry, folks. The HVAC is in Delaware. Don't work. Then he's turning around talking about HVAC. I wouldn't lie to you right here.
Everybody say a prayer for the FDMG HVAC. I want everybody to pray for Dr. Umar and FDMG. Pray that this school will get renovated before the second annual festival. Please pray. You see the HVAC behind me, brothers and sisters. This HVAC unit behind me has been a stressor for 3 years. We need an HVAC tech to come along and help us do what we need to do. Please pray for the HVAC. I'm dead serious. Let's get this HVAC done. Please pray for a plumber that's going to come and knock out the plumbing and don't charge us an arm and a leg inside the school, brothers and sisters. But I'll get back on task because you don't want to let negative.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, right there, he's talking about the small HVAC unit. Talking about let's pray for it. Wait a minute. He told us a long time ago that don't worry, we got the HVAC. That was for the top of the roof. Why are we talking about the unit that's behind him? What's going on, Umar? What's the reality? What's the bullshit here? The reason why I put that clip on because in his arrogance, Lord Jamal was in the process of trying to help this man, but he spit in the face of Lord Jamal of Vice. He said, man, this man put a school together for 6 years. What's going on, brother? He said, you might have a different implementation for the school, but the concept of how to get a school off the ground, it still remains the same. Umar doesn't want to listen to anybody. If he's got a team of elders, if he's got all this team, which we never see who this team of elders is, trying to figure out who his team is like trying to figure out who's behind the curtain on The Wiz. You got to be dead to be seen in red. You got to be dead to be seen in silver. Remember on The Wiz? And all along it was Richard Pryor hiding behind the curtain. So we found out in the end in The Wiz that it was all an illusion. Same thing with Umar Johnson. He sells you on this, he sells you on that, but at the end you never get what you ordered. You never got the meal that you were ordering when you donated to him. And every time he turns around, he's telling you, well, folks, we're going to need money for this. We're going to need money for that. You know, Umar could have done great things if he had just been honest, because black people, we're the most forgiving people. If he would just be honest and say, I need help. And the question is, why is it that he does not want help? Or why is it that he rejects help, but tells you he has experts helping him? And this man can't even do something as simple as register. He can't do something as simple as register. Let me put this on here. He can't do something as simple as register. This is why he's been given a cease-and-desist letter. This means what? Umar Johnson can't ask for donations, particularly in the state of Philadelphia. But check this out. This came down on him in the state of Philadelphia, the state of Pennsylvania, because Philadelphia is not a state, of course. Philadelphia is a city in the state. So I want to correct myself. Philadelphia, which is where Umar says he comes from, is a city in Pennsylvania, But the state itself of Pennsylvania said that he cannot ask for donations because he hasn't registered. But wait a minute. I think Honest said this as well. The location of the school, or the trap bandos, let's say, it's not a school, because a school has faculty, a school has children, a school has running water, a school has consistent electricity, and by the way, a school has HVAC. This is why he's been given this order here. And I'm going to put it on the screen for you to see what I'm talking about. But let me play just a little bit of this again by just one more time. Just a little bit of the end of this.
I
want to play. I'm going to move this to about right here. I want to hear y'all listen to his venom out of his mouth.
It's a decade to get open, brother. You don't open up a school in a year or two. I don't know your brother's story, and I don't care to know it. I don't care to know it.
Why not, though? If it could be helpful to you, why wouldn't you care to know it if it could be helpful to you?
Brother, I have friends who own schools.
So this is a trip. Umar always talks about black people need to work together. Umar is on social media, Facebook, trying to give black women advice about dating. But he won't even take advice from another black man. This is a black man who talks about how he's Pan-African. This is a black man that talks about he's black first. This is a black man that talks about how we got to work together as a people. But yet you can see that he can't even cooperate with a black man who's trying to give him advice, and not a black man who's trying to put him down, who's basically saying, brother, why won't you accept me trying to assist in the process? If Umar is serious about wanting to open a school, why in the hell would you be giving pushback to someone like Lord Jamal, who's got connections that could help you if you really were serious about opening up a school? And if he was really serious about opening up a school, we wouldn't have this situation right here. This is from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the Department of State Bureau of Corporations and Charitable Organizations. In the matter of file number 19980091129, and I agree with Honors, when you got file number on your ass like this, that file number is to the right side, you in some trouble. Received May 4th, 2022, Department of State, Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey, RBG Leadership Academy, Cease-And-Desist order. And now, this 4th day of March, 2022, and I'm going to move this as I need to. The acting secretary of the Commonwealth, having found that Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey, RBG Leadership Academy, P.O. Box, and you notice he only has a P.O. Box. That tells you everything you need to know. Sneaky stuff. 9634 Wilmington, Delaware, is not registered with the Department of State Bureau of Corporations and Charitable Organization, and or has failed to submit all requested documentation to the Department of the State Bureau of Corporations and Charitable Organizations or the Bureau of Enforcement and Investigations in accordance with the Pennsylvania solicitation, because you're soliciting for money, Umar. You're soliciting for money. Is soliciting for money that you need to build the school, as you claim. Umar, you hear what I'm saying to you? Soliciting of funds for charitable purposes, Act 10 PS. I'm not going to read those numbers. You know how it gets into a lot of jargon. Hereby order, the Department of State in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania says, you know, when they use these kind of words, your ass is in trouble. Hereby, let me talk with an English accent. We hereby order that the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey RBG Leadership Academy and the Queen of England to organize or conducting services of a professional fundraising council or professional solicitors in the Pennsylvania until such time as until such time that Umar Johnson provides the Department of State Bureau of Corporations and Charitable Organizations with all previous requests and information and duly under the Queen of England and the Queen of Pennsylvania and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania in America. Charitable organization with all previous request information duly registered and provide information that is exceeded or exempt from registration by the Department of State Bureau of Corporations and Charitable Organizations. You, Umar Johnson, with the power invested in me by the Queen of England and the Commonwealth of Philadelphia, you are to cease and desist from all actions getting on your social media and saying, hit the PayPal, hit the Cash App, hit it. Umar Johnson, you are to stop it until you register with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, sir. Tell the truth.
Information is
power. We hereby tell you to stop, Umar Johnson. Just stop it, sir. You're in total violation, not only of the United States, but the Queen of England. And I'm telling you, Umar has got to stop. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this man has been asking for money for 13 years. You have not had a school open. You have a trap bandos. We can see it from England. We can see it from the continent of Africa. We can see it from America, from Alabama to Oakland, Chicago, New York. Oh, yes. He has made promises that he has not kept, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes. Let me tell you what his penalty is, ladies and gentlemen. In response, may also be subject to formal administration action, which could result in the position or the administration fines. They can fine Umar Johnson, ladies and gentlemen, up to $1,000 per violation of the act, plus an additional penalty of $100 per day for each day that he stays in violation. So therefore, all that money that he's been asking of people can go in default if Umar Johnson does not pay. The money that people are donating him, he'll end up being in heavy penalty where he'll have to give that money to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. What I'm trying to say to you is, if this man was truly serious about opening up a school, he would have taken care of the most basic of basic responsibilities, which is to take care, to make sure he crosses his T's, ladies and gentlemen, and he dots his I's. At this stage of the game, he should not have received a document. This should not have been a document sent to him, because he should have taken care of business if he has these so-called, as he says, experts surrounding him. Let me go into some other areas here. I want to show you some more. I want you all to see some. I'm going to share another document. And I appreciate everybody for being here. Let me give you a clap. And let me see, Department of Discipline. Let me see, Department of Discipline. Where do I want to go with this? Let me see. Okay. I hope you all could see this. Let me look on my main screen here and see. So right there, I'm going to enlarge this just a little bit because I think it needs to be enlarged just a little bit. Okay. Go back into here. Hopefully nothing. All right. So let me do my due diligence by moving this. Okay. So this is the website, Pennsylvania Press Room. Department of State announces disciplinary action against charitable organization. So it looks like it was not only Umar Johnson, but there were several other groups that got caught up in this. And it says right here, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, action, Secretary of State M. Chapman announced today that the Pennsylvania Department of State, DOS, filed 16 disciplinary actions against charitable organization, professional solicitors, and professional fundraising counselors during the month of March. These are all the organizations, friendship. These are all. Let's go down to the one that we're talking about. There it is. Frederick Douglass. Let me highlight it so there can be no doubt. Because the haters out there are going to say, yo, you're making this up. No, his name is on here. So if he's serious about opening up a school, why hasn't he taken care of this? He has to take care of this, or they're going to fine him every day $100, which will come out of his come away from those that are donating him. You can see right here, Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey, RBG Leadership Academy, P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware. So that's where he's located at. So even though the school or the trap bandos or it ain't even a school, folks. It's a gym right now because that's the only place he hangs out in. Even though this is in a whole nother state, he still failed to register with the Department of States. We haven't even talked about the fact that he's going to be in a lot of trouble with the IRS. Now, what Umar will end up doing, and his people who are steadfast to support him in his effery, is that he'll say that this is another way that white man is trying to hold him back. Or he'll say that the Uncle Toms and the Negroes and the Coons are involved in trying to stop him. No, this is all on Umar Johnson because he's not taking care of the business of trying to build a school. See, there's the idea of talking about a school, and then there's the business of building a school. Two different damn things. What's happened to us is that we've gotten caught up in Umar Johnson's oratory skills. You see, we've gotten caught up in his ability to woo us with his ability to talk a good game to us. He talks a good game. He sounds good. His oratory skills are off the chain. But that's our problem as a people. We get too caught up in symbolism. We got this Messiah, not all of us, some of us. Some of us have a Messiah complex where we need to follow someone as the Messiah. Can I get a witness of truth? Amen. And that comes from the fact that black people are the most religious oriented people in this society. From day one, when they brought us over here into slavery. And that indoctrination has taught us to believe in one person that's going to get us out of a situation. So black people, we get captivated, we get bamboozled by black folks, Negroes that can talk good, say the things that we want to hear, make us feel good, talk about pyramids, talk about all kind of, Egypt, this, Egypt, that, when most of us don't even come from Egypt. We come from we're tropical Africans. We come from the tropical part of Africa, West Africa. That's where they got us from. They didn't get us from Egypt or Kemet, whatever we want to call it. But people like Umar and many like him use those things that make you feel good. You want to believe in him because we deep down inside want to believe in people who look like us because we know that we haven't gotten a fair shot from people who don't look like us. So we want to believe because he's been talking a good game. Oratory skills. He can talk your pants off. Black folks, I want to open up a school. I'm the only one that has taught you how the learning disabilities in school. Umar keeps telling you over again. He's chanting to you. I'm the only one. Umar Johnson is not the only person, black man in history or black woman who's been a real educator. He's not a real educator, by the way. He's not he's not a teacher. He doesn't have a teaching credential. Has he ever shown you a teaching credential? No. He's not the only one that has talked about this, about how our black boys are being impacted in the school system. There have been black men who've written books, real professors, real doctors, women and men who have talked about this. He's not the only one. But because he has talked I'm going to keep it real with y'all, because he has talked the panties off of the women and he has talk the boxer shorts off of dudes. What I mean by that, and metaphorically, is that he has said things that make us feel good. And then we say, man, I'm going to donate, man, I'm going to support him. And then you're willing to even support him when he's doing inconsistent things, like getting married to two women, having a mock wedding. And then he's got a girl and a young boy there watching him marrying two black women or doing a mock marriage. What does that got to do with building a school? Not a damn thing. He won't even take advice from people who can help him. Yet he's received documents. Cease-and-Desist. I like to see Umar Johnson explain these documents, explain to you. I want to know what he's going to say. What would be his excuse for why he did not register properly? The man is just, boy, I tell you, let me show you another document. I want to put something up on something else on the screen. I appreciate everybody being here. I want to give everybody a clap. Thank you. I'm going to shout people out in the chat room. I just want to get to this part of the presentation because I think it's very important to bring up these issues. Let me see. I hope this is the one that I want you all to see. No, this is not the one. Let's see. I want you to see what's the one that I want you to see? Okay, I'll just go in. I know how I can go into this. Let's go into the list of Charitable. Let's see. Let's go into where it says Sanctions. So this document right here is the Pennsylvania Sanctions. And let me enlarge that. Give me 1 minute. Won't take me but a minute, folks. Thank you for coming over again. I really appreciate it. Everybody who's here today, I really appreciate it. And let me go back into, and I'll just drop this down. So, and then I got to do something else to this. I hope this will work. There we go. And I can slide it. Let me see if this will reboot itself. There we go. So let me. Okay, folks. All right. Hopefully you all can see that. I'm doing the best I can here. I'm going to enlarge this a little bit more. I should have left it to where I had it at anyway. Okay, that's going to be it. I'm going to leave it right there. So right here, if you can see this document, I just enlarged it just a little bit. I'm sorry, it took me a little bit. This is Pennsylvania Department of State Disciplinary Action, March 2022. Umar Johnson is one of the ones involved in this. Acting Secretary announced that 16 disciplinary action. I talked about that. Okay. This is the area where you can be fined. These are some other places in the state, in the county. There's a $3,000 administrative fine as a result of soliciting contributions from 2017 to 2020 without the approval registration file with the Bureau after receiving contributions in excess of $25,000 per annual in violations. So we know that Umar has been collecting money for over 13 years now. So he would actually, if Umar's been asking for money, then his penalties were actually going to go up. Okay. Paid $3,000 administrative fine as a result of soliciting. This is an example of an organization called Door Open Pittsburgh, PA. They paid $3,000 in fines over soliciting since 2017. Okay. And then so these are examples of other organizations that have had to pay some fine. We have Washington County Center for Justice in Washington, PA paid $2,000. So this means that Umar Johnson could also end up paying more in fines depending on how long he's been collecting. We know he's been collecting money for 13 years. And did he fail? And has he failed to register? And obviously he has failed to register, or they would not be bringing this to his attention. So let me just put this back up here like so. So I just wonder what is everybody's thoughts about this? We've got some great folks in the chat room. This is a trip. I want to thank everybody in that chat room who's come over to support the show. This is a trip. Umar Johnson has a lot of problems here, ladies and gentlemen. Not only, see, when we talk about the HVAC and the other things that he has failed to do, and we talk about it, it is a big deal. But I think this is even more of a big deal because he hasn't even taken care of the most fundamental realities to make himself legitimate when collecting money. If you're going to build a school or anything, you got to take care of all your business. If he had legitimate people, as he told Lord Jamal, helping him in the process, then Umar Johnson would have taken care of this a long time ago, because his so-called experts would have told him, we got to take care of this. We're going to take care of it for you, Umar. So it tells you that he's a one-man band. And it also tells me, when you saw how he was screaming and yelling at Lord Jamal, Umar does not work well with others. He does not have the temperament. It's a damn shame, because he says he claims to be a therapist, but yet he's not implementing therapy on his own self, because he does not have the temperament to work with others. You see, to build a school requires you to work with others. But you notice that Umar often talks in the individual, in the I this, get me my school, donate me money for me to open up a school so that I this. Oh, my office is going to be called the this and that, right? My office is going to be, the gym is called the Marcus Garvey this. No, who cares what you're going to call the different buildings? You haven't even worked on the basic fundamental foundations before you start talking about all this other gibberish. You have to get the basic foundations together so that you don't receive paperwork like this. Let's see another video here. I want to show you all something. Remember when Umar made these statements? I'm going to put these videos in. We got Black Anonymous in the house. Max V Worlds Media's in the house. Queen I Know I Am is here. M Oucho is in the house. Cher's in the house. Yvette. There's a bunch of people in the house. I'm gonna shout people out. I just want to get to this part of my presentation, and I will possibly open up the floor to have a panel and invite people up.
Is in Delaware.
There we go.
But it cannot be installed.
Let me pause this real quick. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to let him take over the screen. I'm going to show you a series of videos. Umar Johnson does not have the HVAC. He lied to us. Just like he didn't take care of his paperwork with the State Department of State. He's been lying to us about the HVAC. Listen to this right here. Let me pop one more in here. Give me 1 minute. It won't take but a minute for me to put this other video that I want to put in here. Let me pop that in there. And then I'm going to play these series of these videos.
Thank you for my continued supporters,
Let me stop that there.
Thank you for my continued supporters, my continued donors.
I'm going to play a little bit of music. I'm going to play a little bit of music while I get the rest of these videos, because I've been having some technical problems. I'm going to get the rest of these videos in my system. I only got a couple more to pop in, and then I'm going to show you everything in consecutive order. Here's a little bit of music for your listening pleasure.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to this channel.
What's up, Max V World Media? Peace to you, brother.
Thank you for my. Thank you for my.
Appreciate everybody that's here. I'm just going to put the rest of these in here because I want to.
Tell the truth.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Let's go with the first one where Umar Johnson said that the HVAC was here. You remember this one? Let's pop this in.
But it cannot be installed unless.
Oh, man, I'm having some problems. Let me put this back in here again. Hang on. Sorry about that. I'll just play them one at a time. I'm not going to load them all in at the same time. I'll just load them one at a time. That seems to work better. So let me go with, let's go with this.
Is in Delaware, but it cannot be installed unless peace and Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan-Africanism. Good Garvey Day to all the FDMG supporters, Dr. Umar supporters. No need to worry. HVAC will be handled. It would have been handled this week, but as you all know, I have to travel. And since I have to travel this weekend, Tennessee, Georgia, South Carolina, my HVAC tech has to push back the installation because I will be out of town and I want to be there, brothers and sisters. So, all is well with the HVAC. The HVAC is in Delaware, but it cannot be installed unless the Prince of Pan-Africanism, CEO of FDMG, CEO of FDMG.
This is bullshit. So can anybody tell me in the chat room, have you seen the HVAC lately? Umar hasn't talked about it. He told you, and this is not me making this up, that's his own words. He said, don't worry, the HVAC is coming. Don't worry, the HVAC is here. So if the HVAC was in Delaware, why haven't we seen the HVAC being placed on the roof? Why he's setting up here, telling us about the small HVAC over here. This one right here. Let me put this. He's telling us about this HVAC right.
Everybody say a prayer for the FDMG HVAC. I want everybody to pray for Dr. Umar and FDMG. Pray that this school will get renovated before the second annual festival. Please pray. You see the HVAC behind me, brothers and sisters. This HVAC unit behind me has been a stressor for 3 years. We need an HVAC tech to come along and help us do what we need to do. Please pray for the HVAC. I'm dead serious.
Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I thought that Umar said to us on this video right here that he already had it.
The HVAC is in Delaware, but it cannot be installed unless
Thank you for the super chat.
Peace and Pan-Africanism.
Jay Sean, I appreciate that.
Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan-Africanism. Good Garvey Day to all the FDMG supporters, Dr. Umar supporters. No need to worry. HVAC will be handled. It would have been handled this week.
Everybody say a prayer for the FDMG HVAC. I want everybody to pray for Dr. Umar and FDMG. Pray that this school will get renovated before the second annual festival. Please pray. You see the HVAC behind me, brothers and sisters. This HVAC.
So now
I will be out of town and I want to be there, brothers and sisters.
So now Umar Johnson is going from telling you that the HVAC is in town. Don't worry. Underdog is here to save the day. He goes from that to damn near getting on his knees and praying to Jesus.
Everybody say a prayer for the FDMG HVAC. I want everybody to pray for Dr. Umar and FDMG. Pray that this school will get renovated before the second annual festival. Please pray. You see the HVAC behind me, brothers and sisters. This HVAC unit behind me has been a stressor for 3 years. We need an HVAC tech to come along and help us do what we need to do. Please.
No, Umar, what you need. Wait a minute, everybody. Didn't Umar Johnson tell Lord Jamal that he didn't need nobody? He had everything under control. He got the professionals. Didn't he say that? See, this is the effery of Umar Johnson. Didn't he just get up there and scream at Lord Jamal, talking about how he got the top experts? I don't need your help. I'm doing something that nobody's doing on the earth.
Yes, sir.
What I'm doing ain't that. I want to be absolutely clear. The
Absolutely
Frederick
clear.
Douglass Marcus Garvey RBG International Leadership Academy will be America's first school based off the principles of Pan-African nationalism and international.
Nobody's doing what I'm doing. I'm the king of all time. I'm the greatest in the universe, not only in America, not only on planet Earth. I'm the greatest in Mars, Pluto, Uranus. Oh, I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest in the universe, in the metaverse. I'm the greatest in Marvel comic book in DC. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? Now, let me play this one. Again, I'm putting them in one at a time because it just seems like every time you got an important stream to do, that's when everything wants to start acting weird. You know, your equipment. It don't even matter if you got the best equipment.
Thank you for my continued supporters, my continued donors. We are pushing forward. Keep it going. I'm tracking down my HVAC tech. I'm tracking down my HVAC tech right now. We tracking down the HVAC tech. We're trying to get this HVAC down. We tracking down, brothers and sisters.
Tracking down?
We tracking down. It's nation time. It's victory for everybody or victory for nobody.
Once again, Umar Johnson has been served cease-and-desist order from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Department of State Bureau. If this man is taking care of his business, why in the hell would he have an order against him like this? And then he's sitting up here on that video that I just showed you, talking about, don't worry, everybody, underdog is here. We tracking down why would you be tracking down anybody? See, this is why Umar got this document sent to him. This is why Umar got this document sent to him, ladies and gentlemen. I'm letting y'all see it in my hand. I got the document in my hand here. This is why he received this document, because he's not taking care of business. He's not taking care of the littlest things before he can even be talking about HVAC, which we have not seen any HVAC. He told you on that video that I just played, don't worry, the HVAC is here, folks. Let's hear this again.
Pushing forward with the renovations. We are not done. Thank you for my continued supporters, my continued donors. We are pushing forward. Keep it going. I'm tracking down my HVAC tech. I'm tracking down my HVAC tech right now. We tracking down the HVAC tech. We're trying to get this HVAC down. We tracking down, brothers and sisters. We tracking down. It's nation time. It's victory for everybody or victory for nobody. We stand together or we don't stand at all. Special is in Delaware.
See?
But it cannot be installed unless.
Ladies and gentlemen, how can Umar Johnson be talking about he's tracking down the HVAC specialist in one hand after just telling us previously, don't worry, that he's got the HVAC? You see the lies and deceit that this man engages in? Would you trust this man to run a school? Would you trust this man with your child? Would you trust this man to educate and run a school when the man can't even take care of things like register with the Department of State and get his affairs in order? How can we trust this man to run a school when this man, every time you see him go live, he's either in his car, in some closet, he doesn't have his own residence, own house or apartment, condo, or any damn thing. You never hear Umar Johnson say, I'm going home. You never see him go live at home and say, hey, I'm at home in my apartment. I'm in my kitchen preparing coffee. How y'all doing? You never see any of these things. Always either at a grave site, in some damn closet with some little makeshift Black Power colors in the background, in a car, walking around in some some obscured place. But he can't take care of the basic principles. While he's arguing with Lord Jamal about, I don't need nobody help. Yes, you do. You need all the damn help you can get. But the problem is you refuse, because there's been documented proof and receipts that there are people that have been offering to assist this man, and he has turned his nose to them. Now, let me play you something else. Let me play you something else, folks. Another video that I think is very important here as we're going through a compilation of a few things. This is very important because Umar bragged about donations.
Our tax exemption from the city of Wilmington. According to this letter, to all my donors, I want to thank you for your support. We got some good news. We have received our tax exemption from the city of Wilmington.
All right, folks, I'm back on. I'm still having some technical problems. Let me do this right here. I appreciate everybody. I'm going to swing it back over to this camera here. And let me play that again. Now, he said on that video, and many of you have seen that video before, that he received a letter from the IRS that they have a tax exemption status. How can you get a tax exemption status for donating to Umar if Umar has failed to register with the Department of State and he has not shown his books, or he has not shown the IRS everything he needs to show them for you to get a damn tax write-off? Not to mention that he owes the IRS a lot of money that he hasn't paid for buying those trap bundles. Let me play this again. I wish I wasn't having these technical problems. I think it's the Chromes that's giving me these problems. It's Chromes. And it really pisses me off because I'm trying to make a point here, and I hate these interruptions like this. But bear with me, everybody. And I thank you. Share this video. Hit the like. Here we go.
From the city of Wilmington. According to this letter, to all my donors, I want to thank you for your support. We got some good news. We have received our tax exemption from the city of Wilmington. So after we pay off
Stop
this
lying.
year, we should not have to worry about next year. After we pay off this year, we should not have to worry about another year.
That's a lie. Umar Johnson, stop lying. Stop lying to people. You owe over 100,700. Something of that nature. I think Brother Honors talked about that on his show the other night. And I want to say, JT Coins, thank you for also sending me a super chat as well, my brother, earlier in the show. No, stop lying. You're not going to get a tax exemption. Not if Umar's not taking care this paperwork properly. And if Umar can't take care of paperwork with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Department of State, it makes you wonder, one can only ponder what other little areas of detail that he has not taken care of. Because if you can't take care of this, it makes you wonder what else is in delinquency, you see, that we don't know about because he ain't telling us. And even in that video that I played, he never has shown proof where you can actually see that you get a charitable donation. You're not a charitable write-off on your donation. You're not going to get a write-off on your donation if he's not showing the IRS exactly what he's doing with that money. If he can't even register for in local municipalities, you're not getting a tax write-off. I'll tell you who you'll get a tax write-off from if you donate and support my man George Macomb of George Macomb Experience. He has the Urban Nerds Worldwide organization out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And he shows you exactly what he's doing. He has a website. He's registered as a 501(c) charitable. So you do get a tax write-off when you buy any of his merch with the Urban Nerds Worldwide logo on it and all that good stuff. That's who you'll get a damn tax write-off from, people like that. Well, see, why are we not giving money to people who have proven their concept, that you can see working with kids? Why don't we donate money to existing organizations or existing black men and women who actually have programs where you can see exactly what the hell they're doing? Umar has shown you nothing but a gymnasium with horrible paint job. And the man is still talking about some damn HVAC, and let's pray on it. Let's get on our knees. Let's pray to the ancestors. Let's pray to Ogun. And let's hope that we get this HVAC. No, you got to look. Last time I checked, God helps those who help themselves. Nothing's going to happen if you don't get off your ass and do something. And the question is that we get nothing from excuses, from begging. And well, let's pray on it.
Everybody say a prayer for the FDMG HVAC. I want everybody to pray for Dr. Umar and FDMG. Pray that this school will get renovated.
Excuses about somebody tearing. So he goes from saying that the HVAC is in town, it's fine, folks, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Then he talks about he's got to track down the HVAC guy. Then he goes from saying he's got to track down the HVAC guy to now we got to pray on the HVAC for the other small building that ain't really, these are not functioning buildings, folks. Then he goes from that to now saying that this guy, the HVAC guy, or this guy I was working with, he tore the wires up. Listen to this nonsense right now.
They want to give their spiritual work to you. And the most important thing that I can say to you spiritually, one of the most important things I can say to you spiritually, my American African brothers and sisters, my continental African brothers and sisters, my Caribbean African brothers and sisters, my Canadian African brothers and sisters, my Australian and Central and South American African brothers and sisters, and my South Pacific African brothers and sisters, I need you to understand nobody can do your soul work for you but you. Nobody can do your soul's work for you but you. I said nobody can do your soul's work for you but you. Y'all see that HVAC unit? Y'all see that HVAC unit right there? That's the small gym HVAC unit that we trying to get replaced. Right above my head is the small gym HVAC unit that we trying to get replaced. I had an asshole cut the wires up. In the unit because he didn't get the money he wanted for a job that he never completed. So the asshole came and cut all the wires up inside the unit. But that's all right. There's low vibration.
Bullshit, ladies and gentlemen. He's now telling you let's pray for the small unit HVAC. But he has not addressed what happened to the HVAC that was supposed to go on the roof months ago that he was promising was already in Delaware. You see how he moves the bar, he changes the narrative, and he does this because he thinks that people are stupid. Now he's on here talking about let's pray for the smaller buildings HVAC, and that I had someone do some work, didn't like the fact that he didn't get paid. Who is this someone, right? And then he comes up with the narrative that the wires were popped out of it. The damn HVAC doesn't work anyway. Nothing works on that damn building, those buildings. So Umar Johnson thinks he's fooling someone. He's not fooling anyone. And the reason why I'm bringing these things up is because if he can't fix these basic things, no. Let me correct that. If he can't register appropriately, if he can't take care of the small paperwork, how the hell he can even do the bigger jobs like putting machines on the building like HVAC, which he's lied to us about. And he hasn't talked about that. He keeps talking about the next RBG cookout. And that's all it was a block party. A lot of people who follow Umar Johnson that like him, they were popping their collars because the man had a bona fide block party. Big fucking deal. What has come of the block party for the damn school that he keeps bragging about that he's got? The block party is a distraction. When he comes on Facebook and he comes on social media trying to give you advice and give black women advice about relationships, it's a distraction to keep you from talking about what is really should be at hand, which is the school that he's taking donations from, that he keeps moving the bar on. Now he's trying to tell black women about how to find a man. Now, this from a man who was messing around with a conscious stripper with blonde hair, but yet he requires his women and black people to have their hair and natural, but yet he got caught with a blonde hair black woman who was a stripper. So say, do what I say, but don't do as I do. That type of nonsense. This from a man who doesn't even take care of his own children. This from a man who doesn't even have a resident that he can call his own. This from a man who spends most of his time running around from car, walking the streets, from cemeteries. See, there's a term I'm going to use here, folks. It's called you judge a tree by the fruit that it bears. You judge a tree by the fruit that it bears. When you take inventory of Umar Johnson, you have to say he's ill-equipped to build any type of school, and he's ill-equipped to lead anybody. See, he had an opportunity to lead, but he allowed his arrogance. He allowed the toxicity of fame. Ever since he came off of the Hidden Colors film that brought him to prominence, he got too caught up in himself. A school black children do need, but I don't think he's the right person to do the business. See, if Umar was really serious about this, he would stick to what he knows and hire professionals to help build the school, right? To build a budget. We don't even know, to build a school, you have to have faculty that costs money. You have to have a school nurse that costs money. You have to have school security that costs money. Oh, who's catering in the food? That costs money. Then you got to have the ability to pay teachers salary. Then remember he had that goofy idea that he was going to have school buses going from state to state to bring kids to school. That's crazy. That's nonsense. That also would cost money, gas. Nothing he's doing makes any sense. Let me play this video right here. And I appreciate everybody in the chat room that's come over. I'm going to definitely acknowledge people in the chat room. I just want to get through this part of the presentation, and then I may open up the floor to have a panel. Let me play this video right here. This goes back to him being in default with the State Department.
Donations. 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 Gifts. Gifts.
So as you can see, he's bragging about donations, 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 gifts. So all that stuff that he's bragging about, he is supposed to register with the Department of State, because if you're getting donations for the idea of creating a school, then you must register yourself as a charitable organization. Marcus, the Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey, RBG Leadership Academy must register as a organization that's taking in donations in order to build a school, which means you're taking in charity. That needs to be registered so that the IRS can know. So that this is show you how Umar is goofy here. He's goofy because there's some benefit to being recognized as a charitable organization, because there's some tax benefit to it. There's some tax write-offs that he would get. But he has failed to take care of business because he doesn't know what he's doing. He won't listen to anybody. There is a tax benefit to being seen as a charitable organization. And he's just dropped the damn ball because he hasn't taken care of this business. And don't get me wrong, Umar could rectify this if he would be willing to register. But the problem is maybe he doesn't want to register because he doesn't want more people being able to breathe down on what he's really doing. That means he would have to be held accountable. You see, he would have to allow himself to be held accountable. If you're going to be bragging about donations, gifts, then you better damn well register your damn donations and gifts.
Donations.
Gifts.
Donations.
Gifts.
Donations.
Gifts.
Donations.
Gifts.
Donations.
And gifts.
Donations.
And gifts.
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 Gifts. He know how to use that S at the end when he be chanting like that. I mean, he really know how to work that S at the end. Donations. Gifts. Donations.
Donations.
That's right.
Donations.
Donations. That's right. Donations. Donations. Gifts. Donations. Gifts. Donations. Donations. It's a damn shame. Let me show you all something. Here's the educational component of today's show. Check this out. I want everybody to check out everything I'm going to put up here very carefully. This is why what Umar Johnson is doing and how he's operating. It is not a formula for success. Because I did a little bit of research. In my research, I found this. Check this out. Because on the Information Man Show, we're going to educate you here on some things here. And let me take something off of here real quick. And hang on for a minute. I'm going to take the bottom off of here. And there we go, folks. All right. The average cost. This is why Umar Johnson does need help. In him refusing help, he's only sealing the fate of there being no school. This is why he needs help. He needs major donations. And when he carries on like this, he's losing. When he talks about the athletes and the entertainers, they're not going to donate to this because when they're seeing how Umar is conducting himself, why would they want to donate millions of dollars to him? This is why he goes on the Breakfast Club every year, hoping that he can get millions of dollars. Nobody's going to invest in this, man. Nobody. He jumped on Mike Tyson when Mike Tyson said, hey, I don't know who he is. And by the way, Mike Tyson should have knocked the shit out of that guy on the plane. He was messing with Mike Tyson. And you get what you get when you poke the bear. But nobody's gonna donate to Umar Johnson when he doesn't have his affairs in order properly. And when you get this kind of documentation that comes out about him failing to register with the Department of State, which they had to give him a cease-and-desist order, then no celebrities, nobody with real money and real bag is going to support Umar Johnson. And to build a private school, the average cost for operating a private school is between $17,000 and $81,000 per child, per year, per child per year, $17,000, $81,000 per year, per child per year. This is a reasonable estimate given that the government of the United States roughly spends, and let me show you what that is right now. The United States spends roughly $12,509 per public school student, and that private schools are known to be more expensive. So private schools would have bigger expenses. So Umar can't run this. How can he possibly run this? Getting little nickel and dime donations from people online is not going to sustain a school. He hasn't even told you who he's hired to be a teacher, who he's hired to be security, who is he hired as a nurse of the school. So many counselors, He can't do it all. He can't do it all because he hasn't done anything. He hasn't done the little things to build this. Let's go into this area right here. A large part of the budget should go to salaries. 65% of a private school's budget, 65%. That's very high, ladies and gentlemen. 65% of a school budget goes to hiring your staff. So how the hell is Umar Johnson going to pay for staff when he's going to have to pay at a level of 65% for staff? Overall, to be a successful private school. Let's go to the next slide here. 10% for admissions and marketing and 5% for financial aid. This can go up to about 11% for the day. So when it comes to 10% of your expenses will go into admissions, preparing for your admissions for students that go to your school. And then you got to spend some money on marketing. And you got to use 5% for financial aid, because are you going to allow there to be a financial aid package, Umar, for students that go to your school who can't afford to? Because you did say in earlier videos, you will pay. Y'all know this. You will pay. Let's go into the next slider. Around $12.6 million for tuition in instructions and tutoring instructors. I'm sorry. So sometimes when you have a private school, you got to spend, we're talking about per year, per student, you're paying about $12.6 million for tutoring instructions for your students. So even if you got the kids in the school, there might be kids who need extra help. Now you got to find people, you got to pay them that extra. Even if you got teachers doing it or aides in the school, you got to pay them overtime money to go even more out of their way to give the kids extra education and tutoring. That costs you money. Let's go into this. When it comes to private schools, what Umar's claiming that he's trying to build here, roughly $5.9 million for student support. What is student support? That means counselors, school psychologists. Well, of course, he's a psychologist. Well, he claims to be, but you got to have school counselors. You have to have a school nurse. You have to have guidance counselors. You have to have certain type of faculty on board who have certain expertise. That's going to cost you around $5.9 million for student support. Running a private school per year. Where is Umar Johnson getting that money from? He's already shamed the black community by saying, I would have more money if it wasn't for you Negroes. He got on Roland Martin show and said he had, what was it? $750,000. The figures that I just brought up will gobble up that money just like that. So Umar Johnson can't be a one-man band, ladies and gentlemen. He needs to listen to people like Lord Jamal. He needs to listen to anybody that's willing to help him, because out of that help, he could find someone that will give him big donations, give him a big fat check, millions of dollars. You never know. Lord Jamal might know a well-known celebrity that's willing to cut him a damn check, but he's on there arguing with Lord Jamal. He's on there arguing with this man who could possibly help him to push this damn thing forward. But Umar doesn't want to listen to anybody that could help him. Umar is a know-it-all. He knows it all. He knows everything. He's all-knowing, and he doesn't listen. And that's dangerous if you're running a school, to have someone who doesn't listen.
What I'm doing ain't that. I want to be absolutely clear. The Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey RBG International Leadership Academy will be America's first school based off the principles of Pan-African nationalism and international economics. That's not what I'm doing, brother. I have a totally different concept from him. You understand? So if
the concept could be different, but the implementation of how
but I
it's
don't
put.
need his help implementing, brother, because I'm a certified school psychologist and a certified school.
Shut up, Umar. Shut up. Shut your mouth. Talking about what you don't need. You need all the help you can get. With the figures that I just put up here, it's going to cost you a lot of money to run that school. You need to shut your mouth. Talking about what you don't need. You need every damn thing you can get your hands on, Umar Johnson, and then some. You need every nickel, dime, pig skin. You need everything you can get your hands on to run this institution if you were really serious about it, because it would cost you $5.9 million for student support. Wait a minute. We haven't even gotten a summer school. Are you going to have a summer school program? Summer school programs will run you about $475,000 for summer school programs. If you're talking about having a real school, Umar, you got to have summer programs too. And you're going to have to pay faculty to work the summer programs. Shut up. You need all the help you can get. Approximately 8.1 million on operations and maintenance, as well as 11.9 million on general administration costs. So to run a real school, you got to pay for your maintenance. That's going to cost you money. You got to maintenance the school. Right now, you got trapped bandos. You can't even, Umar, ladies and gentlemen, can't even get HVAC on the damn school, let alone is he going to be able to pay the money necessary to hire proper, not fix-it man, but proper maintenance crew. If you can't even put HVAC on the roof, or the small HVAC, if you can't even find your HVAC man, you tell us, oh, I'm looking for him. How the hell are you going to find faculty to run the school? It costs you approximately $8.1 million on operations and maintenance, as well as $11.9 million on general administration fees. Your administration fees cost. Have you thought about that? I know Brother Honors talks about all these different things about Umar on his show, but I don't know if anybody has actually given you these numbers like I'm giving you like right now. And shout out to Brother Honors. Shout out to everybody out there. But see, when it comes down to whether he can build a school or whether he's bullshitting, it comes down to the numbers and the money and the economics. That ends all the bullshit right there. It ends it all, Umar.
Educators. See, y'all keep making these things. He needs to talk. No, I don't. Y'all don't know who I got. I got everything.
Why is somebody, you have all these credentials, then why is this man who we don't know was able to put his school together in a few months, and it's taken you 6 years, brother?
6 years is nothing for a school. I can show you 10 charter schools where the money is coming from the state.
Let's stop it right there. It's not just been 6 years. Umar has been at this for 13 years. Do you understand what I'm saying? He's been at this for 13 years. Within those 13 years, I've been able to have a child. My daughter's 14. I'm 52 years old, had a birthday this past year. Going to have another birthday this year where I'll be 53, and I'm getting gray hair. And when I grow my mustache and beard, I have gray in it. So I have went from watching Umar and also being someone who did donate and support what he was doing, from being a brother who had completely dark in the night hair, dark in the night mustache and beard, from having a child that's a 14-year-old now to a child at one point in time was crawling on the, walking on the floor as a toddler and saying boo boo goo goo gaga. And now, what if I wanted to put my daughter in his school? I can't even put my daughter in his school because he ain't got one for there to be one, because he's been bullshitting around. That's where Lord Jamal got that part wrong, because Umar's been at this shit for 13 years and then some change. Starting with the St. Paul school, where he was walking around in them funky jeans, walking around making the video look mysterious. What's going on, Dever Guns? Thank you for the super chat. I had no idea this dude is this scandalous. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
And let me just say this to the naysayers out there that say, oh, see, y'all hating on Umar. Y'all need to help him. There have been black people who have tried to help him with who tried to help him with HVAC, or there were black people who wanted to fix his roof. There are black men who have offered their services. Let me correct what I'm saying here. There are black people that have offered Umar Johnson services. He refused. Matter of fact, Honors talked about this on his channel as well. There were people there was a black man and his family that was willing to donate land to Umar Johnson and let him build a school off the land. They was not going to even charge him for the land. He would have had a plot of land for free, and they were going to let him build a school on the plot of land that they were going to give him for free. And he ended up bullshitting that. There were other people who offered their services, whether it be electrical engineering, plumbing, and he bullshitted that off because he's engaging in Negro stalling tactics. He has no desire to build something because he's simply milking off of the donations to live his lifestyle so that he can go to places like Japan and get into a hot tub and come out of the water and be doing stuff like this. No. We're not paying you money and donations so that you can get in the pools in Japan and act like you're a damn rapper or a god or something like that, Umar. We're not doing that. No.
Tell the truth.
Let me put up another stat for you. You also have to worry about amortization, which is depreciation. You have to worry about what happens is depreciation in the value of the property, depreciation in damages that you have to the property. That can run you in areas of 6.3 million for depreciation. So he has to take that into account. This is why Umar needs to have business people working with him. This is why he does need help with business people who understand the business of opening up a school, because it's not only a school that he's claiming he wants to open up, but when you purchase buildings like this, it's real estate, and you have to understand how real estate works. Umar doesn't understand that, because if he did, he would have never brought this type of property in this poor condition in a Browning area where they have high crime and there's environmental problems in the Browning area of this, where this school or where this buildings that he purchased are, that he wants to be a school. But yet he keeps bamboozling you with this. We're going to have the second annual block party. We don't need block parties. Black folks can have block parties every damn Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Monday, any damn day of the week. In any damn community. His block party was not a opening up a school party because he got nothing going. Let me give you some other data before I open up the panel today. Operating budget for the school for the year 2018 is about 6.7 million with a total. Now, this is the example. There's a real school. I got this data. This is a real school that actually opened up a private school with about 376 students. And this is what it cost them just in 2018. So you can imagine what the costs are in 2022. Operating budget for the school for the year of 2018 is about 6.7 million with a total of 376 students. Therefore, the results averaging operating costs per child is estimated at $17,819. Do y'all understand what I'm saying to you? This is the Information Man Show. Because I don't think many people have gone over the raw numbers as to what does it take economically to build a school. Umar don't have that kind of money. Even if he purchased the abandoned buildings, he doesn't have the money to operate it. So all he can do is give you the illusion that he's opening up a school by painting some walls in ugly colors, showing you, oh, we got some lights on over here. Oh, we're having a block party. It's all an illusion. Because he doesn't really have the funds that's necessary to operate a school on this large scale that he's trying to do, when he should have started with a very small stage. He should have started with a small school with a small number of kids and built up from there if he used some damn logic. But he wanted to go big because he wants to be Big Papa. Shit like that.
Tell the truth.
And this is why he got served these documents. This is why Umar is in the mess that he's in with these documents. And let me just put this back on the screen just real quick to emphasize what we're talking about here. This is why Umar is in the mess that he's in with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Department of State Bureau of Corporations and Charitable Organizations, Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey, RBG Leadership Academy, Cease-And-Desist order. Department of State. Umar fucked up. Umar didn't do his due diligence. And this is happening because he's a one-man show, a one-man band. He has shown he is arrogant. He does not want to get the help of people that can actually help him because he's allowed his own ego to get in the way of what's best for the children, for the students, for the young black males that he claims he's for. If he truly is for the best interest of black males, you would think that he would get the paperwork. The fact that he didn't get his paperwork together shows you the lack of respect that he has for black people, black young males, black young ladies, and black people who he continues asking for donations from. If you're going to ask for donations, you should at least have your damn affairs in order and stop getting up on people's platforms arguing about how you're the greatest of all time.
And it took them almost a decade to get open, brother. You don't open up a school in a year or two. I don't know your brother's story, and I don't care to know it. I don't care to know it.
Why not, though? If it could be helpful to you, why wouldn't you care to know it if it could be helpful to you?
Brother, I have friends who own schools. Do you understand that? I have.
So if he has friends that own schools, his friends would have told him that he has to make sure he register and get all appropriate paperwork taken in. Let me go ahead and do this as I'm getting ready to drop a link to bring people on a panel to have a discussion about this. I want to say hello to Jackie, Lady T Speaks, Sister Deborah Gunn, who super chatted me. We've got Williams Davis. Thank you for being here.
Information is power.
We've got Express Queen is in the house. Thank you for being here, my sister. We've got Looney Coons. Thank you for being here. If you haven't subscribed to the show, definitely subscribe, folks. I usually go live on Sundays. I'll be going live this Sunday. This is just a bonus show because I'm going to get all over this Negro right here. And that's Nature Boy. Oh, yeah. I got the Empowered Esquire coming on board, a lawyer, a special tile. We're going to talk about the legal ramifications of Nature Boy and his nonsense and what he's got going over there, calling himself Three God and all this nonsense. He got arrested. We're going to talk about him. We're going to bring the lawyer on the Empowered Esquire TV. I've got Max Worrell, who's going to come on as a guest because he's been following this a long time to give us some expertise. And we're probably going to have a pretty large panel of people of who's who in Black YouTube who have been following this dude, this despicable individual, Nature Boy, to have a discussion about what's really going on. So y'all don't want to miss that show tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Pacific Time. You do not want to miss that show. Tomorrow, we're getting at that one. We're getting at that one for sure. Let me go in here and greet some more people. I'm sorry if I missed any super chats out there. I apologize. We've got Let Me See Your Transcripts in the house. We got some chick named Star. Thank you, one of my mods. We got Darren Hilton. We've got Queen I Know I Am by way of the Brother Elders program. She's a mod on Brother Elders show. We got A View for a View in the house. Thank you for being here, my sister. Clap to you. A View for a View. We got RY here. We got Aduka. This is my brother right here. Aduka. I don't know if I'm saying it right, brother, but I appreciate you. I like the DJing thumbnail you got up there. You've been supporting me hard too. I appreciate you. We got Kimberly in the house. Yeah, the Empower Esquire will be here tomorrow with me. You do not want to miss it. And do me the biggest favor. After I end this stream today, I will start preparing the stream for tomorrow. And as soon as I put that stream out on my channel, I want y'all to go over to my channel and periodically check and see if I put the stream for tomorrow up so that you can begin promoting that stream to other content creators. If you're a content creator yourself, go ahead and do this. Okay. And let me do another shameless plug here. On the top of my chat room, you will see Info Media Live. I have a content channel over there where I give you tips and strategies on how to build a YouTube channel. I give you everything. I tell it like it is. How I separate myself from other people who do this kind of content is I tell you the things that they're not going to tell you. I'm going to tell you the things that they can't tell you because they don't have their foot in the YouTube streets as I may have. So that's Info Media Live. It's pinned up at the top of the chat room. Go over there and subscribe to that channel. If you're a content creator or someone who wants to create content, I'm going to give you some gems over there. And if you're someone who just wants to know, you're curious to know how we go about doing what we do, I'm giving you those gems over there as well. So subscribe to Info Media Live. That's my new content channel. I'm building it organically. So that's my shameless plug. We got Back to the Basics, who's in the house. Thank you for everything that you've done, supporting the program here. We got my man right here, Jay Shine, who gave me a super chat before. Thank you for that super chat, brother.
Thank you for the super chat.
Information is power.
And I want to thank Big Man 7917. Let me see what Big Man is saying right here and see what he's saying. He gave me a super chat, $5 super chat, which I really appreciate. I hope the woman Umar messed with gets checked out. Umar has protrusions on his whiskers. Oh, God knows what's going on there. Proving he has the gift that keeps on giving. Anything's possible. Anything's possible.
Thank
You know,
you
I
for
don't
the
know about the
super chat.
man's, what the man's, those areas. We just know that something ain't right. Let's just put it that way. But I appreciate the super chat. We've got Gail, who gave me a super chat as well. Thank you, Gail. Gail at night, thank you. Let me give you a clap, sister. Thank you.
Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm going to say it again. Make sure you check out the Info Media Live channel. It's pinned to the top of the chat room. Subscribe. I want those numbers to go up over there because I'm going to start going live on that channel on Saturday mornings to give people more advice. I'll be bringing people on the panel to look at their channels, to give you personal touch and tips on your channel. We're going to examine your channels. We're going to examine what it takes to do what you need to do on social media, particularly on YouTube. I'm going to give you all kind of tips and tricks, things that I know, things that will definitely help your channel, especially in the beginning. And I'm using the same tactics on that channel as well. And in my analytics in that channel already look good. Even though, the views are where they are because of where my subscribership is, my analytics are telling me that the channel is doing well so far because the content is evergreen. People will always it's not trendy content. It will last forever and the views will keep coming and coming over there. So I appreciate you all who make it possible for me to be able to create that other channel. I want to go over to Lady Leg 75. Thank you again for coming over. Thank you, Lady Legs. We got Erica, who's been supporting the channel and rocking with me pretty damn hard. Give you a clap. And don't worry, I'm going to put a link in the chat room to see if anybody wants to come upstairs and have a short discussion about this whole thing. We got the Bionic Snoop in the house. Umar is painful to watch. Yes, he is. Bionic Bionic Scoop. I think I'm subscribed to your channel, brother. You're more than welcome to come up on the panel and talk when I drop the link out there. And somebody gave me a 99-cent super chat, and that's Jackie, and I appreciate that. And I've got to get my membership. I haven't turned the membership on this channel because I've always been indifferent about it. But I am going to change. I am going to turn membership on to give exclusive content to people that are members. But my membership will be very, very cheap. Membership fee. And that means you're just going to get exclusive content that you as a member will be able to see. And I'm thinking about doing that. So eventually you'll see that turned on the channel at some point in time. But thank you, Jackie, for the super chat. And if I could find your super chat to put it on the screen, because I might have missed it when I was deep in my dialogue and triatog. And we've got Mr. 1950 who's came in the house. What's going on, my brother? Peace to you. 1950. He has always been a fraud. Respect to you, brother. Yeah, he's always been a fraud. It's the truth. We got to tell the truth and shame the devil about it. It is the truth. You can do the research. He did not have to lie and say he was a descendant of Frederick Douglass. Yeah, let's address that issue too. Just real quick. Let me put Frederick Douglass up here right now. So Frederick Douglass is someone that Umar keeps saying that he's related to, which is not true. The descendants of Frederick Douglass have already come out and told, just like Umar got a letter from the Department of State, the family members, put this back on the screen here, the family members that are living today who are the real descendants of Frederick Douglass have told Umar to cease and desist from claiming that he is related to this man. This is a lie that Umar, from what I understand here, allegedly, Umar Johnson's father took a DNA test. According to Lennon, said that he took a DNA test and that it came back inclusive that they are not related to Frederick Douglass. Umar has been pushing this big lie on social media. And I know a reason why he's been doing this is because Umar wants to give you the impression that he is something special because he's related to an ancestor who did something great for our people, right? He wants to put himself on the same page with them. He thinks that he's Marcus Garvey reincarnated. He thinks that he's Frederick Douglass reincarnated. And another little secret I want to tell you, when Umar keeps saying things over and over again, like, hit the PayPal, hit the pay. He repeats and repeats because that's a psychological game that people are taught, that to have persuasion over people is to repeat things to them over and over again. It's the same thing that people who run coats do, just like Nature Boy, who has his own little coat. You repeat things to people over and over again. Where did Umar get this from? Where did he get it from? Now y'all gonna really shake the boots right now. Where did Umar get this cadence of repeating shit over and over and over again? He gets this cadence of repeating stuff over and over again from his experience with Dr. York. And y'all know about Dr. York. He's in prison. He was accused and convicted of doing things to underage people. I'll leave it at that. Y'all know the rest. And this is where it's funny how a lot of these pro-black guys like Umar Johnson, who come out of that cloth, whether it be him or Polite, any of these guys, they all do the same thing. They all have the same thing where they repeat stuff over and over again. They all try to persuade you with big expectations. Where they get this shit from? Because all of these guys have had some affiliation with this Dr. York character. You see, this is where Umar gets this bullshit from. Once again, you're dealing with a man who doesn't take care of his own kids. You're dealing with a man who doesn't have his own apartment, house, condo, or whatever. You're dealing with a man that spends most of his time talking to you in his car. You're dealing with a man who spends most of his time walking around in grave sites. You're dealing with a man who stands out there in front of buildings that are in poor shape that he should have never purchased because they're in a browning area, an environmental impact area, because Umar did not have the right people around him to do the proper assessment to know, Umar, don't buy this property. If he's got these so-called experts, as he talks about, people who have given him the dime on how to run this, then Umar would have his shit in order.
Kudos to that brother.
Yes, sir.
What I'm doing ain't that. I want to be absolutely clear. The Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey RBG International Leadership Academy will be America's first school based off the principles of Pan-African nationalism and international economics. That's not what I'm doing, brother. I have a totally different concept from him. You understand? So if
the concept could be different, but the implementation of how
but I
it's
don't
put.
need his help implementing, brother, because I'm a certified school psychologist and a certified school principal who's experienced, who got a whole cadre of educators. So y'all keep making these things. He needs to talk. No, I don't. Y'all don't know who I.
Once again, bullshit. Just because you have a degree in psychology or some type of certifications does not make you good in business. It doesn't guarantee you to understand how real estate works. It doesn't give you the ability to understand how to hire the proper contractors or the proper HVAC men. On the one flip, he tells us he's got HVAC. Then he's running around talking about he's looking for his HVAC man. Then he turns around and says some HVAC guy ripped him, was mad because he didn't pay him more money because Umar Johnson doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He does not have proper people helping him. He's a one-man show, a one-man band. And he alienates people who want to help him. You see, if he had proper help, he would have known not to purchase. Anytime you purchase real estate,